Hey friends, it is Jenna, what is up, and welcome back to the Board Game Garden, and welcome to another Sowing Solo. So this is a video where I share with you guys all of the games that I enjoyed solo in a month, and this month we are going to be talking about May. So I played a bunch of solo games. Recently I haven't been able to play a ton of solo games because recently I've been playing a lot more games with gaming groups, which I absolutely love, but in May I had an opportunity to play more solo games, which made me very happy because I really deep down love solo games so much and solo gaming. So I was happy that I was able to get so many games played this month. So I have 10 different games to share with you guys. So if you guys want to see all of these and hear my thoughts about all of these, then just keep on watching. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy. Also hit that subscribe button down below if you have yet to do so. We'd love to have you here in the garden. Also comment down below what games you played solo in the month of May, which ones you enjoyed. And without further ado, let's get into this video, shall we? To start off the video, I do want to get straight into what the solo focus was for May, and that was a print and play called A Wayfarer's Tale. So I ended up being able to play this. I think I played it a solid like 7 or 8 times. Not as much as I was able to play Three Sisters the month before, but I still got a ton of plays out of this. There is a solo campaign, and I did manage to get through the entire campaign. I think there were like 8 different scenarios, so I must have played this 8 different times. I played all of the different scenarios, and Wayfarer's Tale was very fun. Basically, you are rolling 3 die on your turn, and one of the die is going to be an active die, and then the other 2 are just normal die that you can use. And you are going to be making numbers by adding 2 of the dice together. You can choose to use the active die, but it gets you a monster, or it X's out a monster, and it's kind of like a little bit of a countdown to you losing the game. If you have no more monsters to X out, or if you have no more monsters to write a number in, you lose. So using an active die is a little bit risky, but if you need to, you need to. So you are adding 2 numbers together, and then you are placing this number into a specific spot that is going to allow you to explore to another hex. So there are a bunch of hexes on this map, and you're trying to get to all of the different towns. Typically, some of the scenarios, you're trying to do some other things as well, but you're trying to explore to all of the towns, and if you do, you win. You also gain victory points for collecting gems, things like that, and then you also lose points for getting the monsters, like I mentioned. So it's very fun. The different spots that you're putting numbers in all have like a different thing that you have to do. There is like one that, I forget what the name was. You are going in ascending order, so you have to start with a pretty low number, and then throughout the game you have to put in higher and higher numbers. There's another one where you're doing mountains, so you're going up numbers and down numbers, up numbers, down numbers. There's one where you are doing a little bit of like rows and columns, and then there's also one where you have to like specifically put specific numbers that are higher than certain numbers in as well. And I think there's also the sailor, which you have to do doubles. So all of the different things need different numbers in different ways. It's very fun. I enjoyed it. It is a print and play, so you can purchase it yourself and print it out and play it. I did with all of the sheets that I have. I laminated all of them, so it made it super easy to play it and just wipe it off and then play it again, wipe it off, and I really enjoyed it. So I will have the link down below to A Wayfarer's Tale. Like I said, it is a print and play, so you can purchase it. I think it's like maybe $10, less than $10 Canadian, and it brought me a lot of joy, and I'm excited to play it some more. It does have a multiplayer as well, so I'm excited to play multiplayer. But yeah, that was the monthly focus, or the solo monthly focus for May. Now moving into another game that I actually played for the first time solo in May, and it is actually the solo monthly focus for June. It just happened to be the solo monthly focus for June, and I played it in May. Finally, solo. I've had this game for a while, but that game is Ark Nova. So we've had Ark Nova for probably a good 5 or 6 months now, and I've played it multiple times multiplayer, and I was finally able to get it to the table solo. I played it on stream, and then I played it off stream, and then also it just recently got launched on BGA, Board Game Arena, so I've been playing it on Board Game Arena as well, both solo and multiplayer, and wow. I really enjoyed the solo variant of Ark Nova. It is a lot easier than I thought. It actually makes the game of Ark Nova go by so quickly, which I'm not used to, because with a multiplayer game of Ark Nova, I will say it's not my favorite one to play multiplayer because it takes so long. It is a big game. With both 4 players, 3 players, it does take quite a few hours to play, especially with some of my gaming groups. We like to chat and all those things, so it ends up taking us quite a long time to play games. But yeah, Ark Nova takes a really long time, and the solo variant for it ended up taking maybe like an hour and a half, and that was on stream, which on stream I typically talk a lot to chat as well, and then I played it off stream, and I think it maybe took me like 45 minutes to an hour, which is fantastic for the amount of thinking and depth in Ark Nova. And I've also been playing it solo on BGA as well, which you can play it super quick on BGA because BGA obviously does all the maintenance for you. So I can probably pump out a solo game of Ark Nova on BGA in maybe like a half an hour, which is awesome. But yeah, basically in the solo variant, you kind of have like a countdown, which I know that there is another solo variant that they've come out with called Arno, which I really want to try Arno because it is actually you playing against an AI rather than you just playing against a clock. Because in the solo variant that comes in the game, you have this little tile, and basically every single round you have a certain amount of cubes, so a certain amount of turns that you can take before the break. And once the break happens, a cube gets taken off, so you have one less for that round, and then one less, then one less, then one less, then one less, until the game ends. And then your goal is to just get your tracks to cross before the end of the game. So it's just a countdown. Can you do it? If you can, you win, that sort of thing. But I would really love to try the other one where you are actually trying to beat a fake player. It actually feels like you're playing against someone else. So yeah, that was Ark Nova. Really enjoyed the solo experience for that one, just because it's so quick compared to the multiplayer. And it really surprised me in that way. So that is, I already said it, Ark Nova. Moving into 2 small games that I have been wanting to play and get off of my shelf of opportunity forever. They are both button shy games, and I finally got to play these 2. I played both of these on stream, which if you guys do not know, I have a YouTube channel called The Board Game Garden TV. If you guys want to go and check that out, basically all of my live streams that I do over on Twitch, I bring over here to YouTube and upload them here so they live on forever, because after 30 days, Twitch likes to delete live streams over on Twitch. So yes, if you guys want to go check that out, definitely do so. I would love to have you over there and the support and all the things. But the first game that I played is, or actually, let me do this one first. So the first one that I played on stream was Rove. So this is one that I have been anticipating to play for so long because everyone says that this is one of the best button shy games, and they're not wrong. This is very fun. It is a fantastic puzzle of trying to move these cards around in certain ways. Each of the cards have like a certain type of movement that they're allowed to do, and you are trying to move things in as little moves as possible in order to configure these. I think there are 9. No, there's not 9. There are 6 cards. You're trying to configure these 6 cards into certain configurations, and you're trying to get through 7 different configurations in order to win, which I have not won yet. It's a very challenging puzzle, but I really enjoyed it. This is what the inside looks like with the little robot dude here, and this is like one of the cards that you're moving around. Each of the cards also has like a special ability they can use, like a one-time special ability. So this one, for example, is place any module adjacent to the brain. So this is the brain. So you would flip over the brain and then move any module beside it for that specific configuration that you're trying to make. So yes, that is Rove, probably my #1 button shy game now. But in close second, this one really surprised me. I liked this one a lot more than I thought I would. This is Unsurmountable. Unsurmountable is another button shy game. It is another solo only button shy game. Rove is also solo only, but this one you are building a mountain and then trying to create a path all the way up to the top of the mountain. And every time, the really fun thing about this is that you have a row of cards at the bottom, and you can either take the far left card and place it into the mountain, or you can use one of the other, I think there's 4 other cards in the row that you can use their ability. So you are either choosing use an ability or place that one card that you have there. And yeah, it's very fun. All of the different cards have different things that they get you to do, and you're trying to just simply create a path from the bottom of the mountain all the way to the top of the mountain. You are doing, I think it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for the cards, for the configuration of the mountain. And yeah, I did beat this on my first time. Don't know if I like played it correctly, but I did win, which made me feel pretty good about it. But yeah, I'm excited to play this one more. There's also, I believe, some expansions for Unsurmountable. I don't think there's any expansions for Rove. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe there is. But yeah, I would be down to buy expansions for both of them because I really enjoyed both of them. So those are the 2 Button Shy games that I was able to play in May. Moving into another adorable game. This is a game that I just received. This was sent to me by Renegade Game Studios, so a huge thank you to them. And this is My Little Pony, I think it's Adventures in Equestria, the deck building game. I received this and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this. Like, maybe I'll try it. Obviously they sent it to me, I'm gonna try it. I started to hear a lot of people saying that this was a fantastic solo game, so it got me really excited. So I ended up getting this out and playing it on stream, and I really enjoyed this. Surprise, Jenna enjoyed a game, crazy. But yeah, I really like this. It is a cooperative deck building game, so it works out really nicely as a solo game. And basically in the game, you are either working by yourself or with other players in order to get through 3 different hurdles. They're like little challenges that you're trying to do, and then getting through 1 boss. So you have to get through 3 hurdles, then finish a final boss, and then you win the game. And basically you're doing this by using deck building. So you have a deck of cards, you have a hand of, I think it's 5 every round, and similar to games like Clank, things like that, there's going to be different icons, and you are going to be using those icons collectively with your hand to do different things. So there's going to be some movement icons, there's going to be some like specific cards in the market are going to need specific icons for you to buy them in order to build your deck, and you are moving to different locations and then giving in certain icons and stuff to gain these sugar cubes, and the sugar cubes are going to allow you to get over these hurdles, defeat that final boss, and then win the game. And it is adorable. I really liked the deck building aspect of this. I've said this when I talked about Dale of Merchants in the last video, which if you guys haven't seen the last video, I chatted about all of the games that we played multiplayer. I will put it up here if you guys want to go check that out. But with Dale of Merchants, that is a solely deck building game, and Francis and I don't have a ton of those games in our collection, and this is another one that I can say is a like full-on deck building game. You are simply deck building, and I have really enjoyed these like deck building games. So My Little Pony, Adventures in Equestria, deck building game, really enjoyed this. There, I think, are a ton of different expansions as well for this, so maybe I'll try out some expansions for that. We will see. But yeah, one that again, I wasn't expecting to like as much as I did. Moving into a game that I have been anticipating for so long. I backed this game on Kickstarter at the end of last year, or probably in like October or November of last year, and it just fulfilled in May. I'm sure you probably know what it is. It is another game in the series of one of my favorite games, or my favorite game ever. That is Hadrian's Wall. But the next one in that series is Legacy of You. Wow. All I can say is I've played this 3 times so far. This is a solo-only resettable campaign game where basically you are trying to complete the canal, and you're trying to defeat barbarians and not get overloaded by barbarians by doing some like resource management kind of things. And oh my goodness, this is such a good game. I have been enjoying this so much. So much that I am like not wanting to play it anymore because like I'm scared to finish the campaign. That is the one thing with this one that I'm a little bit sad about, is that I don't know, once I finish the campaign, which basically I think you have to win 7 games before you lose 7 games. I have won once and lost twice. So it is a very challenging game. It's very hard. You have a lot of losing conditions and only pretty much one winning condition, so it's very difficult. You are like picking up cards and exchanging those for different resources, trying to do a bunch of different things, defeating the barbarians with resources. If you don't have enough resources, you can't kill off the barbarians and more come, and just, wow, I just love it so much. But yes, I'm very scared that I'm not going to want to play it again once I finish the campaign, so I'm like putting off playing it more, because like I want to enjoy the campaign as much as possible, and I'm gonna be so sad when I finish the campaign. I don't know if I'll play it again. Maybe I will. With the campaign, like depending on the certain cards that you get, things could be slightly different, but I don't think it's different enough for me to want to continue playing campaign after campaign after campaign. So I'm a little bit sad that, you know, once I finish one campaign, I'm not going to want to play it again, but we'll see. Maybe I'll reset it, and maybe I will share it with someone else that I know that maybe wants to play it. But such a fantastic game. Definitely recommend, but just keep in mind that it is a campaign game and it is resettable, so you can play the campaign over and over again, but there's not going to be too much that is going to change. So maybe just like challenging yourself to win 7 games in a row might be something that you could like work towards. But yeah, really enjoyed Legacy of You. I think this probably is my favorite game that I played in the month of May, but that is Legacy of You. So good. I knew I was gonna like it because I am obsessed with Hadrian's Wall, but yeah. It's really good. All right, so we have 3 more games to get into. I quickly do want to mention that I also played this game right here. This is Castellans of Valeria, which I am doing a full solo playthrough. That will be up early next week. But I did play this solo multiple times in May, and this is not a sponsored video, but that playthrough is going to be, so take that with a grain of salt, or however you want to say it. But this is not a sponsored video, so I am going to tell you guys that I have really been enjoying Castellans of Valeria. I've played it 3 or 4 times solo, and then I've played it about 3 or 4 times multiplayer as well. Really excited to show you guys the solo playthrough of that. It is an area majority game, which I typically don't go for, and I think within the last few months I've been really opening myself up to different mechanisms. I chatted about this in the last video, but I'm proud of myself is pretty much what I'm trying to say. I'm really proud of myself for trying these different mechanisms that I couldn't really see myself liking, but actually just, you know, being open, trying them, I actually ended up really enjoying them. So Castellans of Valeria, I will have the link down below to the Kickstarter if you guys want to go check that out. It goes live on June 13th, and my solo playthrough will most likely be up on the 12th, which the 12th is Monday. So it might be up on Monday. It might actually be up on the 13th when the Kickstarter goes live, but definitely go check it out. Very fun game. And yeah, I just wanted to quickly mention that because it is behind me. So yeah, let's move on to the next game. We have 3 more games to go through. 2 games I've had in the collection for quite a long time. They are both space-themed games, interestingly enough. And then the last one is one that I just recently got. So the first one here is Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. So I ended up getting to play this solo finally. It's another one that I've had in the collection for a very long time, much like Ark Nova. I think I've probably had this in the collection for over a year now, and I finally got to play it solo. I've heard nothing but good things from other people that have really enjoyed this solo, and I really enjoyed it as well. Like I've said in the past, there's not a lot of games that I like hate. So if you're here to hear a lot of criticism about games, like I love board games, it does take quite a bit for me to say that I like really dislike a game. So yeah, if you're looking for that, I'm sorry. I like board games. But yeah, Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition is one that I've played many, many times multiplayer. Francis loves this game, and I'm almost tempted to grab the 3 new expansions that recently came out for this because we do like it multiplayer a lot. But I will say it's not my most favorite game ever. Space theme games are never really something that I really enjoy because theme is really important to me. But with the theme aside, the gameplay of Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition I really enjoy because it does have that engine building, it has the tableau building that I really enjoy. That's also in Arc Nova, things like that. I played it on stream, so you guys can go check that out if you wanted to see the gameplay, but yeah, really enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. I knew I was going to enjoy it because I like it multiplayer, but the solo variant, I kind of forget. I played this pretty early on in the month. I'm pretty sure it's just that you are playing against time, so you're trying to get to a certain spot, or you're trying to get all of the different tracks up before a certain thing happens. So yeah, Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition, really enjoyed that. There's also the simultaneous flipping of the cards, so you do have a solo deck that you're flipping over, and that's going to be the other action that you get to do. So there's a little bit of deduction because you are seeing the cards that are being flipped by the AI for the 5 different phases, so you can kind of time out when you play your cards based off of what ones they haven't flipped yet, if that makes sense. Anyways, that is Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. Really enjoyed the solo variant, very easy to play, and I'm excited to play it more solo. Moving into another space game that I've had in the collection for a very long time, and I've been wanting to play it for a very long time solo, and everyone has been telling me to play it for a very long time solo, but that is one game that I actually had at, I think, number 2 at one point on my favorite games of all time, but that is The Search for Planet X. Speaking of deduction, this is a deduction game where you are trying to figure out where Planet X is based off of this pie chart. So it is the galaxy, the space, the night sky, and it is cut up into pie pieces, and you are trying to figure out what section of this pie the Planet X is in. And each slice of the pie has one item in it, and you are trying to gain information by searching certain segments and seeing what are in those segments to deduce where Planet X is. So I really enjoyed this very much. I love this game. I love deduction games. Please let me know if there's any other deduction games that you guys think I should try. They also do have another one coming out called The Search for Lost Species, which I am stoked about. But I'm happy that I finally was able to get this to the table solo. It plays fantastic solo because the multiplayer of The Search for Planet X is pretty much just multiplayer solitaire. So yeah, it plays solo so easily, and it's very fun. Again, love deduction, so I knew I was gonna love this one, and I am obsessed with the way that this game looks. On the table with all the different segments and stuff, absolutely obsessed. So that is The Search for Planet X. And then the last game that I played, I have wanted to try this game for so long, and the designers actually reached out to me, and I am going to be featuring or covering the new expansion for this game on the channel in the next few weeks, and that game is Dog Park, which, if you know me personally, which if you do not, I have 2 dogs, Penny and Walt, and I love dogs so much. I am 100% a dog person. If I could own 10 plus dogs, I would. But in Dog Park, you are doing a little bit of auctioning or betting, which I have never been a huge fan of betting games. But in this, it makes it very fun. You're betting on dogs, which, I'm fine with that. I find it a little bit sad that you're betting on dogs, but it's okay. It's just a game. But you are betting on dogs, and you are trying to do a little bit of set collection when you're trying to, get certain types of dogs. There's different breeds there are different breeds, but there's also, each card is a different breed. But there are a bunch of different classes of dogs. I believe that's what it is. And you are trying to collect the most of certain classes or certain groups of dogs. There's hounds and toy dogs and like different things like that. Pastoral, I think. I don't know a lot about that sort of thing, but it's dogs, so I'm happy with it. But yeah, you are going through this bedding stage of getting the dogs into your kennel. That's what it's called. And then you're also taking dogs on walks by paying certain resources in order to put those dogs onto your leash. You're taking them on walks and then collecting more resources for the next round. And then each of the dogs all have some fun abilities that allow you to do things throughout that stage of bedding for the dogs and walking the dogs and doing all those things. And it's a very fun game. It's a lot more light than I thought it was going to be, so I'm really happy with that. I really enjoy having a good mix of heavier games and lighter games in the collection, and it's made me want to honestly collect all of the dog games possible. So yes, that is Dog Park. Really enjoyed it. Be sure to check out when I do have coverage on the new expansion for this coming to Kickstarter as well. It is called the New Tricks expansion, I believe, and there are going to be a bunch of new dog cards. There's going to be mixed breeds and some new mechanics being introduced to the game, so very excited for that. So definitely keep an eye out for that. But yeah, that is the last game that I played in the month of May. That is Dog Park. All right, friends, so that is going to be everything for today's Sowing Solo. Hopefully you enjoyed hearing about all of the games that I played solo in the month of May. I've played a few already in June that I'm excited to talk about, so definitely keep an eye out for that. But yeah, if you enjoyed, definitely give this video a big thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button if you've yet to do so. We'd love to have you here in the garden. Be sure to comment down below your favorite games that you played solo in the month of May. Any games that you want to see me play solo, please let me know down in the comments as well. Any games, any solo only, any solo variants that you want me to feature on the channel, let me know. But yeah, I love you guys so much. Remember, you are somebody's reason to smile, and I will see you in the next board game video. Bye, friends.